Hello guys, my name is Anna and I'm a Ukrainian, and I have decided I will vlog daily from my country Ukraine since the start of this awful war with Russia. In my daily videos, I try to update you on the important real-life situations in my country Ukraine, and of course I'm always glad to answer your questions and to clarify some facts from our history, culture, background, or whatever interests you. And today is one of the topics that I like to discuss, that is a success of Ukrainian counter-offensive and when will Kherson return back to its motherland. Of course, we understand that many of the things that are happening around Kherson can be problematic, dangerous, and sometimes can be a trap. But anyway, all these movements, all these speeches, all the signs demonstrate that the Ukrainian counteroffensive is very successful. To start with a little bit of history, modern history, I have to say that Kherson was the only regional center of Ukraine that Russian troops managed to occupy temporarily. With all the effort, with all the heritage of Soviet times, I mean missiles, bombs, tanks that they had for decades while we're preparing for the Cold War, with a network of spies that they left in many ex-Soviet republics, the only thing they managed is to temporarily occupy Kherson. I know that people inside the town looking forward for coming back to Ukraine, and life under Russian occupation is really difficult. I guess one day I have to record a separate vlog about that, because we have a lot of messages and recordings on our social media and elsewhere where people describe what is actually living under the temporary control of Russia. But this control is going to disappear pretty quickly, and many signs demonstrate that. Well, first of all, just yesterday, the head of the Ukrainian armed forces, General Zaluzhny, told us that only yesterday they have liberated 9 towns and villages on Kherson direction, and there are many things that demonstrate achievements there. Well, first of all, starting from the 1st of October, it seems to me that close to 1,381 square kilometers returned back under the control of Ukraine. And in total, 41 cities, towns, and villages returned back to Ukraine, which is very important. At the same time, with the success of Ukrainian counteroffensive, we hear the reports from Shoigu, who is the Minister of Defense in Russia, who claims that they have decided to leave the right bank of Dnipro River. Kherson is located on the right bank of Dnipro River, and of course they have decided. Anytime they withdraw the troops, escape the territory, they describe it as a positive movement, a wise decision, or a plan to, I don't know, walk away or whatever. They never describe it honestly, like withdrawal of troops, some failures, and for Russian propagandists, it's pretty difficult to explain what is actually happening in Kherson. If you look at comments that they leave below the official videos of Shoigu, for example, or Maria Zakharova, who is a special representative of Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, if it can be called a ministry and a Ministry of Foreign Affairs, not the Ministry of Hatred and Terrorism. So there are lots of comments of native Russian citizens who realize that they are losing this war, and Zakharova claims that they are ready to negotiate. I wonder what kind of negotiation that can be, and of course it's impossible for them to, I don't know, hide and demonstrate the situation around Kherson and in Kherson as the victory of the Russian orcs. And in general, I know that Ukrainian counteroffensive operation was very wise, and I'm proud of our experience of our Ukrainian armed forces and especially of General Zaluzhny, because they have decided not to spend many human resources, not to risk people, and they targeted Russian supply, military supply, channels of military control, and also logistics. And as a result, Russian troops that were located in Kherson region, they started losing supplies, connections with generals, they did not receive proper orders, communications, logistics was interrupted, and here we see the results. We haven't lost lots of our soldiers because Ukrainians are saving the lives and valuing the lives of our own citizens and other people in the world, contrary to Russian people who totally don't care even about their own like neighbors and friends. And sometimes when I read the comments of mothers and wives, I don't understand what is wrong with these people. They totally forget about love, value of human life. So after these successful and wise actions of the Ukrainian armed forces, they have lost logistics, infrastructure, and were forced to withdraw the troops from Kherson and from the right bank of Dnipro River. When you ask, is it a trap? I have to say that everything that Russia does is always half poisoned and half trap. That is, it is not their choice to leave Kherson. It is not their goodwill or even the pressure of sanctions or other people. It is the success of Ukrainian counteroffensive and, of course, with the support of our allies and negotiations, pressure, and sanctions. But it is, first of all, military actions that led to the withdrawal of Russian troops from that territories, the success and wisdom of the Ukrainian armed forces. And it is extremely difficult for Russians to demonstrate one more failure as success. That's why they are preparing to destroy Kherson, and that is a very dangerous thing. And we don't want any tragedies like Mariupol to take place in Ukrainian life. What they do is that mine the roads, mine the buildings, and as far as I understand, they are once again ready to erase the city from the face of the earth, as we say it in Ukraine, because they don't value anything. And it's like very Russian approach, like burning everything. If it's not yours, then let it be nobody's. They don't care about lives of children, women and civilians, and even their own Russian soldiers. So it can be very dangerous, but I believe that there is a plan how to avoid it. And also, I know that pretty soon there is going to be a next meeting of the G20 and Putin is not coming. First of all, because perhaps he doesn't want to be asked about the failures around Kherson, and secondly, because he did not fulfill many of his promises to be able to continue cooperating or at least talking to the global society. But I know that President Zelensky is coming and that he even has some plan for negotiations or the conditions on which these negotiations are possible. Once again, taking into account that success of Ukrainian counteroffensive, I think that the negotiations can take place on our side and the way we want and the way we see it. So all of that is really important. I am not celebrating the victory yet, because with Russians you cannot predict anything and they are crazy. They can blow everything up, they can nuke us or whatever, but I don't think this will happen. And I think that with wisdom and patience and bravery of Ukrainian armed forces and our allies, will be able to take back Kherson safe and sound. And I cannot even imagine how happy people in Kherson will be. Kherson is a very Ukrainian-speaking city, a very warm and beautiful city, known for its fruit and vegetable resorts and very, very kind people. So I promise myself that one day I will come and check what Kherson is, because I have never been there, but I do know many people from Kherson, from the University of Kherson, and I wish them victory and safety. And I'm really happy to feel that this day is approaching. Thank you for being with me. If you like this video, like and share, subscribe to my channel. I'm really happy to see new numbers and welcome new subscribers. The world needs to know more about Ukraine. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons, but most importantly, thank you for being with Ukraine all these times. Slava Ukraini!